Good morning, everyone. So we're going to go for take 3 of this video. On the first one, the camera fell over halfway. On the second one, I hadn't hit record. But I sat back and I was really pleased with what I'd said until there was no playback. So version 3 coming to you, largest life from Nova Scotia, Canada. So I said good morning to some of you. It might be afternoon. To some of you, it might be evening. Just like we're like 4 hours behind the UK, 5 right now with the time change. So I beam out all over the world at different times, but sending the same love and the same hope and the same joy to all of you wherever you are. So good, whatever it is. So in the group yesterday, we were talking about shiny object syndrome, and definitely something that we run with here. I think it just gallops in our family. We can get so easily distracted being creatives by shiny object syndrome, and we can have like 10 different things on the go, and then we don't know what to have on the go first because there's so much on the go. So yesterday I talked in the group about how to create goals, how to like kind of niche down on what you're doing and like just have a couple of things going. So right now she's got a couple of things going, I've got a couple of things going, and we've got John's railway table going. Some of you may know that he was working on his railway table, then he had cancer of the brain. Then he received treatment for that, and at the moment is doing well. However, he had some paralysis on one side and hasn't regained all of the use of his hand yet. So Elizabeth and I pitched in and are like making things for the table and stuff. So we have that big project on as well as our little projects. And sometimes, like yesterday, we were trying to paint scenery for the table because it's going to go up against the wall. So me and her were painting scenery, and then he needed some help with placing things on the table because he hasn't always got the dexterity to do that. So then I was doing that. Then I was thinking, I'd quite like to do some work on a card that I'm making for somebody. And then she was like, well, I just want to do some sketching. And I'm like, oh, here we go. SOS all over the show. We're at it again. Well, anyway, one thing that I use, or one thing that we use, which we've been practicing for a long time now in this house, is mindfulness. We live in the moment. We don't live in the past moment or the present moment. We live right where we are now, because that helps us to focus on what we need to do in a timely manner, because 3 people pinging out all over the show can quite quickly turn into a zoo, really. So mindfulness is how we try to live. It doesn't always happen, doesn't always work out, but generally we can pull ourselves back into the moment. One thing that we do that we've all learned to do, and we've used it for various things, like if we're stressed about a medical appointment or if we're waiting for some treatment, we'll do this just to relax John. Or sometimes I'll do it at work when my like day job, my grown-up job is like 4XL, excuse me. I just take a minute and I put my hand over my heart, and we all do this here. So put your hand over your heart and close your eyes. For the purposes of doing this video, I won't close my eyes because I'll look a bit silly. But I close my eyes and I take 10 deep breaths. So I breathe in, hold it, breathe out. Do that 10 times. And then just notice how you feel. You might have noticed when you put your hand on your heart that your heart's racing and your day's dizzy and your head's flying around the room, and it's like, oh my goodness, I got to do 50 things in 3 seconds, and how am I going to cope? Stick your hand over your heart, do those 10 deep breaths, and then just sit and notice how you feel. I generally feel very relaxed, very calm, ready in control, back in the moment. Just by putting my hand near my heart, I feel that I pick up on the energy field from my heart. And in closing my eyes, I feel that puts me in tune with my heart. Try it with your eyes open, try it with your eyes shut. Definitely a different feeling with your eyes shut, because when you're breathing in, focus on your breathing in and breathing out. Even put your hand on your tummy and feel your rib cage coming in and raising and lowering. All these things help you calm down and relax. Give it a go. Hope that's helpful to somebody today, and watch this space, because I'm full of that. Full of different ways of relaxing, meditating, mindfulness, whatever you'd like to call it. If you don't like the name that it is, but you like the practice, just do that anyway. Hopefully this will help with your shiny object syndrome, squirreling syndrome, or whatever syndrome you'd like to call it. Call it something. Make it up if you want to and tell me what you call it. But happy Tuesday.